I'm Dr. Bart Rademacher, and this is Transformational Art at Burning Man, as I do the last links to Facebook Live on the group page for Transformational Art at Burning Man, as well as my own page. And if anybody's watching on my page, go to Transformational Art at Burning Man. Just incredible interviews and incredible art forms that you definitely want to go to watch. So I'm really excited about today, and this is my second interview today for Burning Man. But what's absolutely magical and wonderful, and it just our ability to expand our imagination with the help of this incredible, talented artists and architects and craftsmen out there across the globe, because it's that marriage between the imagination of the artists and then the technology that they bring in, and how it then relates with nature and art evolution. That's what's totally magnificent. And it's not something that you can easily come by unless you're one of those smart people that ends up going to Burning Man in the desert in the middle of August in the most extreme conditions. And that's why it's so amazing, the courage and the talents and the persistence of architects like Nicholas de Bruyne and his entire team from two continents, in fact, coming together so that we can experience something very special. Nicholas, thank you so much for joining me today.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I didn't ask you a question in our pre-interview session. Is this your first burn, or you've been the burner for a while?
This will be the second time.
Okay.
Yeah, last year was the first time, and but I've been wanting to go for ages. So yeah.
I love it. And I have to honor you, because even it being the second time, bringing this incredible project, this large size project to the desert is quite an undertaking. And so tell us a little bit about this fascinating concept that you have, the background, where it comes from, and what its relevance is, to the metamorphosis. Let me get that right. Metamorphosis, which is the theme of the event at Burning Man 2019.
Sure. Well, I guess to sum up the project, really, the project is designed to bring people together, and it's more about the experience than what it actually looks like. So there's a number of ways that this sculpture does that. It really, true to that Burning Man spirit, it really invites you to touch, it invites you to explore, and it invites you to inhabit. And it's only through a collaborative effort where participants can mobilize her 20-foot wingspans or activate illuminating light graphics that this piece reaches its fullest potential. So it's about that collaborative spirit, and it's about people working together to achieve something together.
That's what I think that's so magnificent and beautiful about the work at Burning Man, but in particular yours, because it's all about interaction. It's all about participation. And I love that idea. That's, one of the principles of Burning Man, where we get to participate. There's no bystanders. There's no people just spectating. But what's cool about what you guys are doing is you have an entire team coming together from two continents, which that in of itself is quite an undertaking. How does that actually happen? But then transporting this huge installation. And what you were sharing with me before, which is neat, is that now you get to, there's a digital component to it, and there's, I guess, sound or light, and as you approach it and sit in, is it, a chair or a bench, then all sorts of magical things happen as well.
Yeah, there is a marriage of physical and digital means of interaction. So we're really interested in that sort of fine line between real and unreal, and complex and simple, and all of that coming together. I mean, this is a very rich project, and we're working with people multidisciplinaries. We have engineers, sound designers, creative directors, videographers, programmers, technicians, architects, artists, creators. It's a phenomenal bringing together of minds, and it's just been a pure joy to work with the team and bring the best out of everybody.
You know, what I think is really special about your project, and all of the projects are special in their own unique way, but it's how you bring a very complex installation with all these different elements. And the cool thing is that, and actually the reason for these interviews is because I want us to be able to share the story about you guys. You know, how does it come all together? What's behind this? Because oftentimes we'll go to an installation, and as I was talking to Mark Ipa and Deronda, you know, about fragments, you know, I was asking him, you know, how much do you want to share with the people? And he was saying, well, you know, part of it, the magic, part of the beauty and magnificence is you get to create your own imagination. You get to create your own experience. You're not told how to look at something. And so, you know, that's what's wonderful about what you're allowing us to do is, with the support of this artistic complication, if you will, to have an experience. And that, I think, is incredibly unique.
Yeah, well, just to respond to that a little bit, you know, we are creating a whole world with this piece. And that plays out in a multitude of ways. I mean, not only are we bringing to life the Archaeopteryx, which lived millions of years ago and was the first creature known to take flight in you know, the Black Rock City desert couldn't be a more perfect blank canvas to do something like that.
Right.
But with the digital aspect of this project, we're the wings become a canvas, an interactive canvas where we're creating a virtual microcosm. And a microcosm is a fantastic word because it means something small that reflects a greater picture. So a small piece that encapsulates a whole. So it's difficult to explain, but we're creating a simulation of a microcosm that you, as a participant in the piece, will be able to sit down. Sensors will pick up your presence, and you'll be relayed into this world as a protagonist. So you become a cell that is birthed into this world, literally. That's what you'll see. And then that cell grows, divides, evolves, and collaborates with the other neighbors. And every person who's ever been at this piece will, their vestige or their memory will always remain in the canvas. So that's one of the really cool aspects of the piece. Is over the course of the week, it will become more and more vibrant with a vestige of every person that's been there.
That's amazing. So it's almost you're collecting a history, you know, to be displayed in one form or another in the future. How cool is that?
It's really exciting, and you know, we think that this is symbolic and important today because you know, it's about situating ourselves in a ever-connected and evolving world, and we hope it has the power to bring people together and empower one to sort of recognize their own creative potential in this vast world.
And that's absolutely what I like about these kinds of installations, and all of them for that matter, but this in particular because, you know, with our busy lives, I mean, at least mine is pretty busy, and within the constraints of what's exposed to me in life, you know, going to Burning Man and experience this really opens up my horizons and my ability to actually think and create and imagine what's actually possible. So you create the space of possibility for us by introducing things that we couldn't even imagine beforehand. And so that's what's so brilliant. And this is your dream child, I guess, correct?
That's right. It's been in development for a long time. and yeah, we're having a great fun bringing it to life.
So let me ask you a question. And because going to Burning Man, I mean, that's a huge undertaking with all sorts of challenges and quite frankly, extreme conditions from hot to cold, from wind and rain and everything else. I mean, are you anticipating any particular challenges that you already have figured out how you're going to handle them?
Well, what could go wrong? Uh, we are trying to prepare for anything and everything that might come at us, but I don't think there's any way you can prepare for everything. But as you can see, we've done multiple prototypes.
Right.
I've got a small scale model behind me here, and then we've got a full working prototype at 1:1 behind me here as well. So we are testing rigorously. We're educating ourselves and trying to build the most robust kind of thing possible. It's taken a lot of time, a lot of collaborative thinking, and real expertise from the team.
So maybe you guys should take the whole installation in a wind tunnel and see how wind affects it. That'd
Yeah, that's true. We've
be
been trying to simulate that in a small scale.
awesome. So I love the connection between where we came from and starting off with the dinosaurs and evolving into the first flying being, and now it's bringing our own evolution and inspiring our own evolved cognition, if you will, by feeding us all sorts of signals that we're just that are just in fact foreign to us. I think that's absolutely brilliant.
Well, thank you. This is about serving as a experience that can be a physical and symbolic reminder that in order for humankind to reach its full potential, we must work together, and that's the key message behind the story of evolution.
Right. Now you're an architect, and so clearly this may be, something different than maybe you normally would do. So what's the inspiration behind this? What was your inspiration to bring this to Burning Man?
Let's see. Well, we really enjoy, as I said before, a little bit that marriage of physical and digital worlds. So this is bringing together a lot of my own interests, the interests of the team, in sort of a way you wouldn't get to do with a typical building, with the interactive systems, the simulations, the lighting, and that side. But I also design a lot of furniture. I love making and building. I'm really interested in craft, in detail, and so all of that is evident in this project.
Awesome. Any particular challenges you've faced already and overcame?
You can see behind me, we've been prototyping this particular connection here to make sure it's as sort of dust proof, runs smoothly, doesn't rack. And I think we've just cracked it with this iteration in the past few days, but we've had a lot of failed attempts and things that haven't worked. So it's been a real pleasure to work through that process of learning and discovery, and that's what it's partially about.
Yeah, it's all about facing your mistakes and recreating the process to get the results that you want. And as I was explaining to you, I made a lot of mistakes in all my interviews and video editing, and I'm getting better and better all the time. And so you're probably going to evolve as well, on the fly once you're there, in a way that you probably never thought you needed to. So, I'm really excited to be talking to you. I'm really excited to actually experience this incredible installation that you guys are putting together. And so, but one of the key things about this interview series is really about how is it that we can support you guys. And I mean either in a physical form as far as help or ideas, suggestions, advice. I think those are invaluable. But there's also that part. All these installations cost a lot of money. And I think in all fairness, you're giving us a wonderful gift to enhance our imagination. So I think it's our responsibility and our part to help you as well. And so I know you have a GoFundMe going on. So how can we help you?
Well, firstly, thank you. That is all true. We are raising funds for final things like final materials, transportation to the flyer, lighting, technical systems, all that stuff that runs under the hood, which makes this thing magical. Does cost money. So we are currently in the middle of our Indiegogo campaign, and so any thing there would be most appreciated.
Awesome. Well, I'm Dr. Bart Rademacher, Transformational Art at Burning Man, bringing you the stories behind these amazing installations that come to life so that we can have a personal playground of our own imagination. And so I really appreciate talking to you today, and Nicholas. So let me give you the last word. Anything you want to share?
Well, I'll just reiterate the message that this is really about bringing people together, and we look forward to sharing it with everyone in the community out there, and hopefully it will empower others to discover or rediscover that in order to reach our fullest potential, we must come together.
Yep, and also know what's out there, what's possible, and so that we can close that gap together. And totally spot on. Hey, Nicholas, thank you so much, and I'll be back real soon.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.